Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of Free Game. This is our latest podcast. I'm your gracious host, Jay Red, joined by the beautiful Melanice Gibbs.
Hey y'all.
Yeah, we about to get it in. So the last time we talked about dating. Oh, before I begin, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com. That's youtube.com/We Authentic Network. And last time we talked about dating, what was it? Dating,
Talking.
talking, and messing around. Dating, talking, and messing around. I was getting those confused because today we're talking about something different. And we started talking about it on the last show, but we couldn't get it out all the way because I wanted to save it. And today happens to be a great day to talk about it. Um, yeah, so today we're going to talk about, is dating your friend's ex okay? Also, dating, messing around with your friend, or talking to your friend's ex. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because it was some years ago. I think I was listening to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, and that topic came up. I think a lady said that um, her and her husband had been divorced for a few years, and then later on, he started messing with her friend. They started dating, and then I want to say they ended up getting married, something like that. So, with that being said, is it okay to actually do that? Because when you look at it, people will defend it saying, well, that situation is over. That, what y'all had, and it didn't end up working out. And even though I know this was my friend, this is, we're friends and stuff like that, but should I be able to be happy too? Little did we know we had a connection. Is that okay for anybody to date your best friend, get married to your friend? It could be best friend or friend. Okay. So, Melanice, you go ahead and just lay it out. Like, just before we get into the specific details, just go ahead and give me like what you think straight off the jump.
Um, it depends on how long, how much time has passed, right? So obviously, like with friendship, loyalty, like comes to mind first off, right? Mm-hmm. So my initial answer is no, that's not okay, right? But I think if the dynamic of your friendship changes or a long time has passed and you're no longer friends with this person, then I could see yes. But initially off the bat, I'm gonna say nah.
No. Yeah. Okay. So it was an important thing that you did say. Like, it just depends on the relationship that you have with that friend. Y'all could have been besties in high school. You could have been besties in college, and then later on, you guys aren't close anymore. And even though that's your former friend, it should be free game from when you're dealing with the exes. But if y'all are friends, it's an issue if my ex-husband or my ex, like if it's from a female's perspective, my ex-husband or my ex-girlfriend, or my ex-boyfriend ends up dating my friend, because it does happen sometimes. One thing that women do, this is free game. One thing that women do, and I think that they make this error time and time and time again, you brag about how good your partner's sex is to your girlfriends. You'll tell them, oh my God, girl, he laid it on me. He did this, he did that. Fellas too, because fellas do it too. You go to your homies, your homegirls, and you'll be quick to tell them how good the sex was. So when you do that, free game, in their mind, what do you think they're thinking? They could be just like, oh man, that's what's up. Or they could be thinking, man, if he ever leaves her or if she ever leaves him, you give me a chance, I'm gonna do something with him. You know what I'm saying? If they're in a tempted situation, because you gave them all the details and told them that the sex was good, the sex is phenomenal, sex is perfect. What female isn't going to think like, not every female, but some females, depending on their loyalty to you, they'll be looking like, well, shit, she's bragging like that. I wonder how good it is, And then when y'all break up and, he happens to see her at a store, just see her at a bar or something like that, she may get a little drink in her system and be looking like, well, Melanice did say that he could lay it down, and if he start talking to her a certain type of way, she may be down for the cause. She may be down. So I think that women and men make pussy. Fellas, if you talk to your homeboys and brag about how bomb the pussy is and how bomb the head is and shit like that, a dude could be like, man, yeah, he broke up with her, but shit, you know, I got a dick too. So I just want
Yeah.
to see what Melanie's talking about. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to tell J Red that, you know, we're trying. You see what I'm saying? They'll sneak around. So I think that people
Yeah.
make a mistake.
But it's not always sex though. It could be flipped. So let's say I'm dating you, but I'm not treating you right. Like my friend might know that maybe I'm cheating on you or I'm talking to other people, right? But you're this great guy, everything that any female would want in a relationship, right? And here she is single, wishing she had somebody like you, and I'm just not even really treating you right. That same scenario could happen. It doesn't necessarily have to be about sex, but either way, I still think that there's a fine line, and I think it depends on when you're dating this person also. Because if I dated them in high school, chances are like those feelings were,
yeah, that was child's play.
you know, but in college, okay, it's a little different. It depends on how long I was with this person. You know what my feelings were, or maybe you don't, because I feel like I talk to different friends about different things or different dynamics of my relationship with somebody. So I don't divulge everything, even to my best friend. I don't tell everything, right? So if you know like what this person meant to me or what this relationship was to me, and then like 2-3 years down the road, you're talking to this person, yeah, I'm probably gonna have a problem with that. I mean, I'm gonna let you be great. We might not be friends anymore, but yeah, I would have a problem with that.
Absolutely. And this is when it comes to the fellas. Like, I just know when you around your boys, if it's anybody you messed around with or you're talking to, they know that y'all had a thing. They'll ask you. They'll just be like, "Hey, what's the situation that y'all had? You know, were y'all talking? Were y'all dating?" I always say the thing that is always off limits is if that was, you know, y'all were dating. You know what I'm saying? If y'all were dating, then I feel like the girl should be off limits. You know, as far as that goes. Now, if she was just a bust down or y'all just smash and stuff like that, you could go up to your homeboy and just be like, "Hey, you know, what, do you mind?" And then if he be like, "Nah, man, go ahead, do your thing," then that's okay. But I think it's respectful to actually talk about it. But if I had an ex, I mean, you know, like my ex-girlfriend, right? If I was to find out that any of my friends were talking to her, you know,
Yeah.
even though it's over with, even though I may not care about her anymore as much as I did, then I would have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody I probably smashed before, or smashed back in the day, you know, and I found out that they smashed, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, well, you know, it is what it is." But I think ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends, that is very, very sensitive. But there are situations to where those people end up talking, and maybe they had a better connection than you and that other person. But
It's
yeah, but I don't like, as far as being loyal, if it's an ex-girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Now, high school, like you said, is different. You know, that's puppy love, really. When you get
right.
like when you're in high school, you know, it's one thing, but later on, when you get older, it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? So, and some people could look at college like that. You weren't, because think about it. You could have been 18, 19, 20. When you look back at your 20s now, do you,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be mad if anybody dated my ex from college. I'd be like, have at it, girl.
So see, yeah.
So okay, for you, when does that change the dynamic of your friendship with that person if they so one, if they come to you and they're like, "Hey, ran into so and so and we were talking, we've been like vibing, talking for a little minute. I just want to talk to you about this, see how you feel about that." Or if they didn't say anything to you and you just happen to see them out and find out on your own, does that change y'all's friendship?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you weren't man enough to actually, if it's somebody, if it's my ex, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, put it like this. If you're my close friend, you know, your best friends, whatever like that, if you my homeboy, you know what I'm saying, my dog, you should be able to tell me if A, you're gonna smash somebody I used to talk to, B, date somebody I used to be in a relationship with. You should be able to say, "Hey man, you know, Like, what you think? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your thoughts on it? I ain't gonna move, you know what I'm saying? Because she made a pass at me, so I'm just trying to see y'all's situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be that, but I think that's the respectful thing. Now, this is the difference. Like, acquaintances and associates, that's a different ballgame. You know what I'm saying? If we just know each other by affiliation or know each other through people or whatever the case is like that, it's on a high and by basis. That's a whole different thing. Now, if I find out, say, is a guy named Jerome or something like that, me and you break up, I know Jerome, you know what I'm saying? We hoop together sometime every now and then. I see him at the gym every now and then and stuff like that. But then I find out that you talking to Jerome. I wouldn't expect Jerome to probably come up to me initially and say anything. It just depends on how close we are. But any of my core friends, I would expect them to come to me and tell me about if they're trying to date someone. For one, because they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
right.
the bro code.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like it shouldn't even be a question. Like, you already know the answer to it. You know, like, just don't even cross those lines. Now, if it's just, well, I can't say. I was about to say if you just really feeling this person, but I feel like for you to feel that strongly to ask me, y'all already been talking anyways.
That's
so. You know, and then I think it too, when you have your friends like around your significant other a lot while y'all are dating, they're getting to know that person also in the process. You know, not necessarily thinking like, oh, I'm gonna talk to this person if anything ever happens. Not all the time, at least. I'm gonna talk to this person if anything happens, but they're already building like this bond in this relationship with them while y'all are together. And even like when y'all break up, does that dynamic change? Do they stop following each other on social media or hanging out or whatever to where they actually build that relationship to even start talking, messing around, dating or whatever?
Absolutely. And that's how I had a close female friend of mine. I used to talk to her friend at the time, and then we got cool because we would be hanging together. You know what I'm saying? I cook at the house, they come through, whatever, we kick it, and then me and the girl stop talking. But then it's like, damn, you know, where does that leave us? Because we still see each other and stuff like that. So eventually we just became cool, you know what I'm saying? To the point where people thought we were talking and stuff, but that wasn't that. It's just that I built a friendship with this person, you know what I'm saying? And well, at that time we weren't even as close, but over the time it's just like, well, damn, like, you know, where does this leave me and you? Like, we were just cool, but her and the other girl weren't that close of friends too. So, for example, like if that was her best friend, right? Mm-hmm. I would expect the best friend to not be the best. To not be friends with the ex anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your core at the end of the day. You're supposed to ride with your nigga. You're supposed to ride with your chick. You know what I'm saying? If that's right. Your bestie, your best friend, your close friend, then all ties should be cut off. It should be cut off. And you know, that even goes to like family members and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
If your family members were cool, it's different with guys. You know what I'm saying? Like if he became homeboys with your brother or something like that, you know, I guess it could be considered different. I don't know, but I feel like if things are done, they should be done all the way completely. It's different when you're married, though. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all probably didn't have kids, and you know, they thought that y'all were gonna be together forever and all that stuff, and then bonds are made. So, you know, it is what it is with that.
Yeah. So, okay, question to kind of flip it a little bit. So, if you're dating me and one of my friends while we're dating, or not even while we're dating, while we're dating, makes a pass at you, or even just hints that, you know, they may be interested in you, how do you handle that situation?
Oh, repeat that one more time. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. One more time. I had to send this text off.
So we're dating, right? So right. Our friends have like intertwined or whatever. You know my friends, I know your friends. And one of my friends, you know, they get real comfortable with you or whatever, and they either like make some sort of like forward gesture or hint that, you know, what do you do in that situation? Do you not tell your significant other?
That's a great question. I would counter it with this. Because I'm glad you asked that question, because shout out to Dr. Henderson from Mad Drama at Jackson State University.
Yes.
He gave a similar scenario, almost like if you see your friend's significant other dancing with somebody at the club or flirting with somebody at the club, would you actually go back and tell them? And people in the class were like, yeah, you should. He said, no, you shouldn't. And we were like, why wouldn't you? He was like, because they already have a trust level with each other, and you could mess things up if you try to say something, because it's your word versus theirs, especially if you didn't take any pictures. But then you getting involved and stuff like that. But to answer your question, if your friend made a gesture at me and stuff like that, I would probably ignore it at first. But if it continued, I would have to say, look, Mel, look, because I want y'all to continue to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to cause any riffraff. But if she does it more than once, then I'll probably have to say, like, look, because I'll probably tell her, like, look, don't trip. Melanie, me and Melanie's together. This is my girl, and I don't want y'all to not be friends anymore. So, just chill out on it. And if she continues to do it, then I would have to probably come to you and be like, look, just so you know, Rochelle likes me. You know what I'm saying? She's made gestures at me, and I'm not saying you ain't got to be a friend no more, but just know, like, I'm showing you that she didn't, I'd rather go ahead and get this out now before she makes something up or you see something like that. So that's my response. I wouldn't jump on it right then and there. Like, look, babe, look at what she did. No, you just play it smooth. You know what I'm saying? And then what would happen if she's gonna eventually do it? Then the truth will come to the light. So absolutely. But yeah, that's a real good question.
Yeah, I've somewhat been in the same scenario, but it's different because I wasn't dating that person. We were just talking. I can't even say it was like a whole situationship, right? So it wasn't even like that deep. It wasn't that serious. But the friend was like, well, what's up with y'all? Why y'all not dating? Like, just trying to like feel the situation out and then make his pass. Like, is that still okay? Now, I was like, nah, I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. But does it change the dynamic if you're not dating this person, you're just talking, or you have a situationship with this other person? Can your friends still date them?
No. I don't think so. Hold on, let me make sure I get this right. Hold on, make sure I get this right. So would they be able to still date them if what exactly? I want to make sure I pinpoint that.
If me and you used to have a situationship, right? And my friend knows about it, but then later on down the line, y'all start talking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I'm about to say no. I said no initially, but no, that's the whole thing is it's going to be awkward. It's going to be like, for the other person, because especially like if they're I guess all together, it depends on how close they are, because it could be situations where I may have smashed somebody and then my homeboy, this is the worst, my homeboy will want to wipe that person up. Like, if I look at this as a bust, right? Because there's situations that happen like this all the time. I just smashed this girl. We were cut friends, we were fuck buddies or whatever like that. And then I stopped talking to her. And then my homeboy is like, man, I really like this girl. Now he's wifing her up, and that would feel awkward too. But he sees something in her that I didn't see in her. You know what I'm saying? Like a diamond in the rough. Like he's just like, I'm gonna polish this up. What's another man's trash may be another man's treasure. So that could happen. But anything that's a situationship, you should still have that conversation, I feel like, but it all depends on how close, anyone is, because it's just gonna feel weird. Because even if you truly don't give a fuck, in the back of your mind, you could be like, man, so J Red trying to holler at her, huh? Or they talk now. That's interesting. That's funny.
Right. Then you're gonna start thinking about, like, when y'all were talking or dating, like, how long has this been going on?
Because it builds. One important thing that you said is when y'all hang out and stuff, something had to have built, or it had to have been some type of attraction at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It would have to be that initially, or on the other side, they would have probably had to. Like, I'm trying to play both sides of the fence, because even like I'm looking at Melanie, like I never liked Melanie like that, and all of a sudden, now that Jerome stopped talking to her, Now I'm like, man, I like her. Shit, I'm trying to get with her. It's like, dude, you were probably eyeing her from the get-go.
I can think of one situation that possibly that wasn't the case, right?
Okay.
So let's say we're dating or we dated, and a few years go by and I'm at a work event or industry event, and I run into this person, your friend, right? And so we're talking at this industry event, exchanging info. I get their card, they get my card or whatever. And we have like a mutual interest in what we're doing business wise, right? So we start working on a project together. And from there, our like dynamic kind of builds from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's like probably the only way I could possibly see somebody having like this newfound like friendship relationship after the fact. But then I still feel like there's still like this thing in the back of your brain that's like, oh, I remember her. That's so-and-so's girl. And then everything kind of starts registering all over again. But that's probably like the only way I could possibly see something happening like that.
I agree. Because like I said, it could all be situations, but which leads to something else, right? And I was gonna save it for another episode, but we could just talk about it real quick. So when you cheat on your significant other and you end up cheating on them with someone else, and y'all eventually get married or get into a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
That to me, like, because it's funny because some people actually work out.
They do.
I think that, like, just from knowing how things were, like how things are and experiences and stuff like that, that's not a good thing, because why would you want to be with someone who allowed you to cheat? Like, you don't think they would do the same thing to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, get into a situation where it's just like, look, shit, I'm not loyal, like, you know, like, or they know, you already know that they're not loyal anyway. So if they cheated, were comfortable with you cheating on your significant other with them, you gotta know that it's a possibility, it's a high chance that they could go do it with someone else.
Oh yeah, definitely. But then I think sometimes people get it twisted because they think, oh well, I got him away from her because I know what he likes or I know what she likes and I treat them better. I do this, so because I got them from this person and I won them, they wouldn't do that to me because I know how to keep him or I know how to keep her. So I think sometimes people have that mentality. But yeah, that happened to me.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know, but it was funny though. But she was very bold and honest to let me know, like, hey, I'm sleeping with your dude, and I just want to let you know. Like, I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, thank you, appreciate it, and she just kind of kept going with it. Like, okay.
Out of the free game that we're giving y'all today, I'm going to repeat it again. Anytime you talk to someone that someone else used to talk to, it's never going to be a comfortable situation. Now, both of y'all, I think that it just depends on how y'all's comfortability. Like, if both of y'all are just like, fuck the world, we're going to do what we're going to do, then by all means, go ahead. Do what works for you. I don't want you to miss out on your blessing, but just know it's going to be awkward, you know, when y'all run into the person that they used to talk to, or if that's your friend and, you know, you start bringing them around and, you know, y'all want to hang together and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like, say that my ex started talking to my friend, right? And say that, you know what, I said, you know, it's cool. Y'all go do y'all thing. Like, I don't care. Like, if I just don't like her, period. Like, I'm like, man, I don't want to have nothing to do with her. And then he's like, shit, can we go on a double date and stuff? I'm like, oh, no. You can't bring her to the crib. You know what I'm saying? You can't bring her to the functions that I throw. And we ain't finna be buddy. You know what I'm saying? If y'all gonna do that, then y'all do that on your own. Now, let me ask you this. If your best friend ends up talking to your ex and says, look, I love him, you know, I think that we have a connection, would you still be friends with that person?
No, I would not.
You'll cut them off.
I would cut them off.
So let's say roughly 10 years of friendship, you're willing to stop your 10 years of friendship over a guy?
it's not even over a guy. It's about the dynamic of our relationship and that loyalty, because again, like that's not cool to do that at all, like on any level. Like, even if we were just like talking, or maybe I wasn't in love with him the same way that you were in love with him, but we were together and there were feelings there. That's just, you don't break that code.
I agree.
So, I mean, I want you to be happy, yes. So I'm going to let you be happy. I want you to live your best life. I want y'all to be happy together. And that together, like, this is where our journey stops. Your together does not include me. So.
That girl said this is where our journey stops. I love that. I love that. No, I agree, though. I agree. I just asked that, just to ask, just to create dialogue, because some people could look at it like that. We've been friends for 10 years, 18 years. And over this guy, but no, it's loyalty. You know what I'm saying? At the end,
got to do with him. Yeah. I cut him off. I let him go. I'm friends with you. We here, so you're the one that's in the wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 110%. I just wanted to ask that, but yeah, it's never good to do that. And I always ask, because you don't want to be in a situation, because if you're gonna do it, you're just gonna do it, right? But you want to be upfront with that person and not sneak. And like you said, one important thing that you said is that if you have to ask, you already did it anyway. Y'all done already smashed. Y'all done already started texting, all that stuff. It's like, and this is another thing. When people ask that question, I'm like, you really don't care what I got to say.
No, and they've already had a conversation with that other person anyway. Well, how you think Melanie's gonna feel about this? Like, they done had a whole conversation about how they gonna deal with it, regardless of what I say.
Right.
So don't come to me with that.
They already got it made up in their mind. It's just so they don't look like it's great to address it, but when they come and ask you that question, they've already probably then started fucking around and doing all that other stuff. But the mature thing to do, especially if you want to keep that friendship and keep that connection, is not do it, period. And if you are going to do it, don't do it when you're knee deep in there. Do it when the thought of it comes through your mind. You know what I'm saying? And you just like, man, Melanice was looking at me a certain type of way. Let me go ahead and ask Jay Red beforehand, just because I know they used to mess around and stuff. Because you got to think about the other person too. That person is going to be hurt, because those are close people that are with them. And regardless if they tell you they don't care about that person or not anymore, they would care if, y'all start talking, because it's just like, damn, like, and this is another thing, like when you're cool with somebody originally, like if it's a homegirl that was cool with the homies, and then one of them ends up start talking to one of the homies and stuff like that, you may not be able to have that connection anymore, because you don't want to be sandwiched in between it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And now this is y'all thing. Like, we can't be as close anymore. So, it's stuff like that you got to look at. But you got to think about the individuals as well, their feelings. But some people don't give a fuck about that, and they're going to do their thing. So
they do not, especially females. Everybody out here looking for Mr. Right, and they want to be married, have their little happy family and stuff. By any means necessary. Go ahead, boo. You got that, sis. I'm gonna let you have it.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Like I said, like, it's not a good thing to do, and like I said, free game ladies and gentlemen, don't run into, like, if they ask you how good the sex was and stuff like that, if you care about that person, you won't share those details. You know what I'm saying?
You do not.
You could probably say, hey, it's good, but don't go into specific details and then get mad when they try to sneak up and smash your significant other, or, you know what I'm saying, like your ex or whatever. Like, you gotta be cognizant of what you share with people. That's why a lot of dudes are able to pull women who are in the same circle, and that's why a lot of women are able to pull the dudes in the same circle of people that know each other, because you didn't spend a lot of time bragging about how good the sex was. So that's free game. But anyway, yeah, that was fun to talk about that.
It was.
Anybody that has that wants us to talk about anything, let us know. Reply in the comments, hit us up through the DMs. When you DM us and you see clips of these promos and stuff like that, that doesn't mean DM us and talk about the video you just, like the clip you just saw. if you do have those comments, just please go to the YouTube channel and post it there, okay? Because that's how we get, and hit that like button too on these videos. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Hit the alert button so you can get notifications whenever these videos come through. And also subscribe. I can't say it enough. Subscribe to youtube.com/WeAuthenticNetwork. Where do we follow you, Melanice?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at its_Mel's World.
Also, you can follow me, you should know this already, at JAYR3D on all social media platforms, preferably Instagram. That's where I spend most of my time, other than Facebook. Because
that's where you get loose.
Right, I get loose on Facebook where people make live videos going at me. But anyway, no shade. But anyway, you already know it's your boy J Red, and this is Melanice, and we are signing out from Free Game.